We're back. Say something.
What's up, y'all?
All right. When we are recording this, it is March,
hmm
but Mother's Day is coming up very quickly.
Indeed.
It's in May in the United States. I'm not sure about other countries,
Yeah.
but it's in May. So we wanted to talk to you about being a step parent on
How to
Mother's Day,
navigate it. How to navigate
how to navigate Mother's Day as a step parent.
Yeah, because it is always one of those days where people get their feelings hurt. They have expectations that are all out of whack,
hmm
and it causes problems. So hopefully we can give you some tips to help you to avoid the problems.
Well, one thing is they created a Stepmother's Day.
Yeah, which is what, the following week, right?
The following week
Mhm.
after Mother's Day here in the States again. I have my thoughts about that, but we're not going to go there right now.
Yeah.
So, one thing that David mentioned was expectations. If you have expectations to be recognized on Mother's Day as a step parent, talk to your partner. Let
hmm
them know, hey, I know I'm not little Johnny's mom, but Mother's Day is coming up and I'd like to be acknowledged.
Yep.
And that's your partner's responsibility, not the kid's responsibility.
Yeah. And they may disagree with you.
hmm
And that's why you could use the following week. Oh, Stepmom's Day is coming
Right.
up the following week. Because a lot of people don't know that. So that could be a way for you to say, oh, by the way, Stepmom's Day is coming up the following week, and I would really appreciate you showering me with loving gifts.
That's a bit much. And some people will be like, I want to be recognized on Mother's Day, not Stepmother's Day.
hmm
And I get it. I do. But you're not the mother.
You don't have to
You're not the mother.
don't tiptoe around it.
You are not the mother.
You're not your mom.
And I know with my son, I asked him, or David asked him one time, said, do you want me to take you to the store to get your mom something for Mother's Day? He's like, no, I'm good. If you have a
the
decent relationship
stepkids
with
your
will
child's
sometimes
stepchild's
message
mom,
me, happy stepmother's day.
blah, blah.
hmm
Not by prompting, but just because,
It's funny every time that they say that though. You always question me. Did you tell them to do that?
right. Yeah. But one thing too is if the child is going to be with the mother that day,
hmm
do something that you enjoy. You and your partner go do something.
hmm
But if y'all are going to have the child on Mother's Day for whatever reason, bio mom's not available, she's out of town, she's in jail, she's dead, whatever, then let that day still be a day that that child does not feel pressured to treat you like a mother.
hmm Well, let's talk about
Does that make sense?
yeah.
Okay.
Let's talk about dealing with supporting the kids.
hmm
And what I mean by that is, especially when your kids are smaller, like I would go to my kids and I would say, "Do you want to get your mom something for Mother's Day?" Now, granted, we didn't have a great relationship, me and the ex. We didn't have a co-parenting relationship, any of that. But that does not matter. What mattered is my kids maybe wanted to get something for their mom, and they weren't at the age where they could drive themselves to the store, and probably didn't have the money either. So,
Right.
which meant, yes, I was having to buy my ex something for them.
Oh, I'm kidding.
And I was okay with it. Worry was okay with it. It's not about me. It's about what my kids want to do for their mom.
In fact, I even offered to take them one year.
Mhm.
Yeah. Do y'all want me to take you to go get something for your mom for Mother's Day?
Right. So-
Now, you have a different thought when it comes to once the ex is in a relationship that you're no longer responsible for that.
yeah, my feeling is exactly
Mhm.
if she's remarried or whatever, like wherever I draw the line, like you need to go to your stepdad and he can make sure that he gets something that she wants, because I don't know what she wants.
Mm-hmm.
It just makes sense to me that it happened that way. Now, if they came to me regardless of that and said, we want to get mom something and we haven't, and it's Friday and Sunday's Mother's Day, I mean, I'm gonna help them out.
Right. And if you have a good relationship with your child's stepmom, then maybe you can help the child make a craft for
Hmm.
mom. A card, construction paper is cheap.
Yeah.
Don't pay $5 for a card. Get construction paper, trace their little hand, whatever. And that way, you're showing them that you care about them and their relationship with their parent.
Hmm. Yep, that's a very good point. So make sure you set those boundaries. Um, have those conversations with the spouse,
Hmm.
like with your spouse or your significant other. Like if you're doing something for my kids, it would be helpful if you have a conversation with me about it first,
Hmm.
just to make sure we're in line with that. Like you
Right,
don't. The last thing you want is for me and you to argue because you decided to help my kids do something and I thought you shouldn't do that.
right, right.
So.
And two, you've got the aspect of what if they don't tell me Happy Mother's Day? Or what if they don't tell me Happy Stepmother's Day?
Mhm.
They're kids. They rarely think about anything other than themselves, which is normal.
Yep.
And don't rely on other people to create your happiness. If you want flowers for Mother's Day or Stepmother's Day, get them yourself.
Mhm.
It doesn't mean any less that they're beautiful flowers.
As I like to say, there's always a cemetery nearby with flowers.
Ignore him. But I think you've always said Happy Stepmother's Day or something like that.
Hmm.
You've encouraged Jackson to acknowledge Mother's Day.
Yeah, because I mean, you get back to back, right? Like Mother's Day comes up for your son, and
Hmm.
then the following week is Stepmother's Day for my kids.
Hmm.
I think my kids, I don't know, are they more apt to tell you Happy Mother's Day than they are Stepmother's Day, or do they kind of do both?
Both.
Do they?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, it's funny, like not both the same year. It's
Mm.
like one year might be Stepmother's Day, one year might be Mother's Day. I think it just depends on what crosses their mind at the time.
Yeah. The interesting part though, I think is my kids grow older and now they're having their own kids. I think they look at those days differently
Hmm.
than they used to.
But the key is I don't expect it.
Right.
If
You expect it from
Ethan,
me, though, don't
no, I don't expect it from you either. I've lowered my expectations with you too, David.
you? Good for you.
But say, for instance, if Ethan, he's the one I pick with a lot, if he doesn't message me and say Happy Stepmother's Day, I'm not going to message him and go, "You little piece of crap, you didn't tell me Happy Stepmother's Day."
Hmm.
But when he comes to our house and wants me to make cornbread, I'll say, "No, you didn't tell me Happy Stepmother's Day." But I have that relationship with him.
Yeah. Yeah. You do.
Hmm.
All right. So we've talked about a lot.
Hmm.
Let's go back and talk about the focusing on yourself thing a little bit more. So if Mother's Day is important to you, what are some things that that person can do, even if they're not the mom?
Hmm.
Maybe you're not a mom at all, because it's different when you are a mom and it's Stepmother's Day because you can focus on your own kids that day.
Right.
But let's say you're not a mom
Okay.
and you're only a stepmom.
Okay.
What are some things you can do if that day is important to you and you may not be getting recognized?
First thing is to discuss it with your partner
Okay.
ahead of time.
Yeah, not Saturday night.
Yeah. Or not the day of, for
Sunday
sure.
morning. I expected a card.
Right.
Really? First I
Hmm.
heard of it.
Hey, look, I'm all for sending Amazon links. Find something you want on Amazon, send it to them, say, this would be a great stepmother's day gift for me.
Hmm.
Especially if you are involved in helping them with their kids. And it doesn't matter to what level.
Right.
If you fix the kids' supper or if you do everything for the kids, it doesn't matter. It's still you are doing something for their kids.
Hmm. Okay.
Okay. And another thing you could do, go hang out with friends that are also stepmoms that feel unappreciated. But don't complain about it and don't drink too much.
Let's all get together and complain together.
Yeah. That's what would happen.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
I would say like go out for dinner, but it's already Mother's Day.
Oh,
So
gosh.
I wouldn't do that
No.
for myself. But anyway, um, lastly, let's talk about comparisons.
Oh, comparison is the thief of joy. I'll tell y'all a little story. You know where I'm going with this. So I've got me a Honda Accord that I've had for quite a while. I love my Accord. It's been good to me. It's clean on the inside. Looks almost brand new on the inside. And I was looking at my car one day and I was appreciating it. I was like, I love my little Honda, you know? I go to see my friend Christy. She was cutting my hair and we were outside. And I'm
You were
looking,
outside having your
we,
haircut?
yeah, in her garage.
Oh,
It
okay.
was cold. Or it was hot, either one. We stay outside because I got a lot of hair, you know.
I got you.
Okay. So anyway, I'm sitting there looking at this. What was the car? An Equus, or that's probably not it.
Whatever. It was a
Yeah.
new fancy car.
It was beautiful, beautiful car. And I'm looking at that car the whole time she's cutting my hair.
It's
And I'm
parked
like,
beside yours, isn't it?
yeah.
Oh, see.
And I'm like, my car is a piece of crap. Look at my headlights. I'm surprised I can even see you with them. And oh, look how shiny her car is.
Mhm.
Oh, and it's got the fireplace feature inside the car. I mean, it was just crazy. I think it was an Equus. I'll have to remember or ask her, but it was an awesome car. And then she's telling me that she's wanting to sell it. So I'm like, oh, great. I love that car. It's gorgeous. I knew she took care of it. Like she is Johnny on the spot with her maintenance and all that stuff. And I messaged my son. He's like, don't you dare ever buy a car like that. He's not a very big supporter of certain types of vehicles. But the funny thing is, she's sitting there saying, there ain't nothing wrong with your car. That girl ain't never had a car that is older than 3 years.
There's nothing wrong with that car for you.
Exactly. Exactly. That's like her house is Better Homes and Gardens.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, you would die if you came to my house. She's like, no, it doesn't bother me if it's other people's houses. It's just mine.
Yeah.
But if I would not have sat there and looked at her car beside mine,
I thought nothing about it.
I wouldn't have thought anything about it.
Yeah. So there's a couple of different things that come to mind as far as comparisons. One is you can compare maybe what you get or don't get with what mom gets.
Mm-hmm.
So mom gets
a dozen eggs and you only get one.
eggs. Why would you
Because eggs are pricey right now.
Okay, I was thinking roses, but anyway.
I know.
Anyway, mom gets something, and then you get something that is of lesser value.
Mm-hmm.
So that bothers you. You're
Mm-hmm.
comparing. Another thing is you could actually look at another stepmom. So, a equal stepmom gets something, and you get something that is lesser.
Or even gets told Happy Stepmother's Day.
Yeah, yeah. Like, oh, it's good that your step kids did that. Mine didn't.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, those anytime you're doing that type of comparison with other people, you're going to get yourself in trouble. In fact, I would say if you're going to compare anything, like compare where you are now with where you were last year.
Yep.
You should be better off if you're
Mm-hmm.
following this podcast and doing the things you're supposed to be doing.
Mm-hmm.
So if somebody tells you Happy Mother's Day or Happy Stepmother's Day, and last year nobody did,
well, that's why I email everybody and tell them Happy Stepmother's Day.
Oh yeah, all your peeps.
Yeah, so open your emails.
That's right.
But I do want to say too, if you are a mom and a stepmom, meaning you have children of your own
Mm-hmm.
and you have stepkids or even an hours kid, tell your husband you want to be recognized on Mother's Day. Men don't get it. They just don't get it.
We don't.
They don't care. They don't care about Hallmark holidays.
There's a reason why there's not a stepfather's day.
Yeah, yeah. You watch. There will be one soon.
No.
Yes.
I fight against it.
Yep. But it's important to remember, regardless of what day it is, that you are important and you are special. And just because your kids, your own kids, may not think so or acknowledge it, or because your stepkids don't, it doesn't make you any less of a person.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I mean, it only has the weight that you give it.
Yep.
If you're like, I don't really care one way or the other, then it has no weight.
But you have to really not care, like not have in the back of your head, I hope they get me something. I hope they get me something, because you're going to be disappointed.
I don't want nothing, but you better buy me a brand new car.
But that's why, and I started doing this, I did it since we've been together. I did it before we were together.
What's that?
Every birthday, I buy myself a cake.
Mm.
And if I don't know that you're getting me one, right?
You buy them when it's nobody's birthday.
Well, that's true. I love birthday cake. But I started doing that because one year somebody didn't get me a birthday cake. And I was sad. I was like, how do I make sure that this doesn't happen to me again. Buy my own cake.
Yeah.
And that's like my daddy the other day said something about, or Jackson, I don't need a birthday cake. I'm like, everybody needs a birthday cake, even if it's a cupcake. It's your day. It's your special day. So make Mother's Day special for yourself. Make Stepmother's Day special for yourself.
All
But
right.
remember, when it comes Father's Day, if your spouse or your partner is a stepdad, acknowledge
Reciprocate.
them.
Hmm. All righty. So hopefully those little tips and tricks will keep you out of trouble.
I hope so, because it breaks my heart going to Facebook page the day after Mother's Day. Anybody get told Happy Mother's Day or Happy Stepmother's Day? And I mean, it can really depress you,
Mm-hmm.
but you have that ability to change what you're thinking.
Yep. I agree.
So you can think, yeah, they suck, but I'm awesome. How's that?
That sounds great.
All right.
All right, folks. Until next time, remember life is good.
When you nacho.